Good morning, everybody. Today we are going to go through the exercises for workout one. For reasons that I explained in the email, I'm going to go briefly through each exercise, even though a lot of them are exercises that you've done before. You've done all of them before at some point, but just some reminders so that your technique can be as perfect or as spot on as possible. So the first one on there is our body squat. Just our typical body squat. Feet are hip width, lined up underneath the hips. Toes can be turned slightly out. Chest is nice and tall. Most important is you're sitting as low as you can. For some of us, that might be right in here above the knees. That's okay, especially if you've had knee issues before. For some of us, you can get down to that parallel to the floor position. But low as you can go is what we're going for. If you need to stick a med ball or a small chair, a stool underneath you to make sure that you're getting down as low as you can, please do so. Next exercise. Our bicycles. This is our typical bicycle like we have done so many times before. Balanced on that low to mid back, trying to keep the shoulder blades up off the ground the whole time. Hands behind the head. You're reaching elbow to knee, rotating as far as you can. You can move through your bicycles as quickly as you want, but you must extend the straight leg. In other words, this does not count as a bicycle. You've got to fully extend the leg, even if it slows you down a little bit. All right, back up to the feet. We have our alternating reverse lunge. This is our typical alternating reverse lunge. I'm going to step back left leg first, get as low as I can, trying to get that back knee right to the ground or right above the ground, and then switch legs. Most important is the chest stays nice and tall, so you have even weight distribution between both feet. Try not to lean that chest forward and end up with all your weight on the front leg. Again, range of motion is what's most important. How low can you get that back leg? Push-ups next. Down to the ground again. Push-ups, you have the option of knees or feet. The most important part is that I want you to use whichever position allows you to get to 90 degrees, which means you've got that 90-degree bend at the elbow every time. So if you can stay up on the feet, then you're looking to get about right in there, straight line across the upper body. If you need to drop to your knees, that is perfectly fine. You can stay on your knees the whole time and get that big range. What I ask is that when you email me back with the time that it took you to complete the workout, you include whether you were on your knees and your feet. I will not judge you. I just want to know which one you were on so that a ways down the line when we do this workout again, I can remind you, hey, you were on your knees or you were on your feet. Okay, looking for consistency. Then next are our curtsy lunges. Done these many times. Standing up nice and tall, chest is tall. I'm gonna step back, but I'm gonna cross over. Again, that back knee as low to the ground as you can. Back together and switch. Low to the ground as you can. What I want you to be careful of is that you step back and not just sideways. When you step just sideways, you end up with a real funky big angle at both knees and feet and ankles. Not a good position. So make sure that you do step back enough that your legs have room to bend on those. Next are Superman. Back on the ground, face down. Arms and legs fully extended. Remember, we are lifting the entire body as high as you can. So obviously the hip bones and the abdominals are going to stay on the ground, but you're aiming to try to get the rib cage up as well as high up the thighs. So squeezing everything together, heels together, we're going to lift and lower, lift and lower. Just like bicycles, these can be done as quickly as you would like, as long as you're going all the way back down to the ground, keeping the heels together, and lifting as high as you can every time. Back up on the feet, speed skaters. I'm not going to have you measure out the distance, but I want you to feel like you are either taking a hop across or a large step. But it should feel like a reach. You should feel like the work that you're putting in is on the speed skater, on the reach. Then that back leg just has to tap the ground. It does not need to be a curtsy lunge, does not need to be a squat, but it does have to hit the ground. So across, tap, cross and tap. All right, down to the next group. We've got our walkout, no push-up. So arms start up, touch those toes, walk on out, tuck the glutes under and find that plank before you walk back. You can move through the walkouts pretty quickly, but you gotta watch out to make sure you hit your plank. A lot of times what happens when we pick up our pace on these is that we end up still in a pike with the butt in the air. Drop those hips down, then come back. Tuck-ins, specifically from flat. So our tuck-ins today are gonna start whole body flat on the ground. From here, you're gonna sit up as high as you can. So the goal is to get all the way up balanced on the glutes and all the way back down. If you cannot get all the way up, you have two options. You can leave your heels on the ground and treat it more like a sit-up, or you can tuck everything in, lifting the shoulder blades up even though the mid-back is still on the ground. I will let you choose which one you want to do, but try it out beforehand and then make sure you stay consistent with whichever path you pick, and then let me know. All right, we have our burpees flat to the ground, which means it does not have to have a perfect push-up. You just got to touch your chest to the ground. So it's going to start standing down to that squat, feet go out, hopper step, all the way flat. Then everything comes back in and hop it. Forgot the hop. So again, it's squat, feet out, drop to the ground, feet in, and hop. Step it or jump it, either one is fine. Just do whatever you need to do to keep them going. 2 to go. We have our single leg toe touch. This is exactly as it sounds. I'm standing on one leg, the other leg is in the air. I'm reaching with my opposite hand, touching my toes, back to a stand. You can make this a perfect straight leg deadlift or bird zipper. That was for you, David. Or you can bend that bottom knee as long as you stand all the way up every time. So I'm counting these. If you've got 10 on each side, 8 on each side, whatever your number is, you've got to stand all the way back up to count it. So I touch and I stand. Fully standing, that's 1. If I touch, put my foot down before I get back to stand, don't count that one. So that would be 1. That would be 2. All right, and then switch legs. Last one, we have our sumo squat jumps. Feet are wide, toes are turned out, knees go to your toes. Arms, I will allow you to do whatever you want. You can take them behind your head, you can swing them with you, doesn't matter. We're gonna sit it as low as you can, try to get the hips down with the knees. Big push, hopping from there. If you are not hopping for any reason that's important to you, I want you to take it up on the toes or lift one leg. It's the action of jumping with a little bit less on one side. All right, guys, have fun with it. I look forward to hearing how it goes. Good luck.